All right, Shalom. I like to say call Allah, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Bakar Kadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to all you brothers teaching in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe, underneath the standard and the banner of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. All right, this is going to be real brief. Definitely we in that time, when the Lord said all these things shall come to pass, all right, and then the end shall come, all right, and roughly paraphrasing the scriptures, okay, and hey, this is a beautiful ending to this captivity, man, okay, because in the scriptures it said that this captivity, the end of it, is going to be more phenomenal than the last, which was Egypt, okay? But as being men in the spirit in this day and age, and you see it all developing, it builds your faith even more, because the scripture said that the end was written from the beginning. And hey, all these things are playing out one after another, as you can see on the planet. Okay, the downfall of Edom had started in the 60s, and now it's about to wrap up. And the things that we're seeing, oh man, it's like the pages of the book are jumping right into the realm of reality, so to speak. Okay, I'm just going to play a couple of videos, and that's it. That's all to it, Start over here.
Доброе утро. Приехал чуть пораньше, перед началом поздравить с днем рождения. 祝贺你生日快乐. Нас так.
And I just put up this video. I don't give a damn about him giving him ice cream and all that, but I'm just showing you that this is how leaders are supposed to be diplomatic to one another. And you can see that DJ Trump, he doesn't have this diplomatic spirit in him, because the Lord has hardened his heart. Okay, he does the total complete opposite. He insults people when he goes to their lands. Okay, and just for that, man, that alone, that's going to make all the nations mad, like the scriptures say. And I'm going to get that too. All right, I just wanted to throw that up there just to show brothers out there, this is good decorum between nations seeking to gain an ally, so to speak. And it's written already that Putin was going to be that man that was going to be a guard unto every nation, like it says in Ezekiel, I believe it's 38th chapter, or 37th chapter, one or the other. But I'm just trying to get through it briefly, on the way to the plantation, But yeah, it's been stated in that chapter, in Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, I believe, that he was going to be a guard unto lesser nations, or nations that were afraid of so-called Babylon the Great, Let me play another video to show you what Obadiah was saying, okay?
Tonight, Iran is making Europe pick between them and the Trump administration. Iran says that when the Trump administration broke its nuke deal with them and increased sanctions on them, this is what Iran is saying, European countries said, we're not going to follow suit. Well, tonight, Iran seems to be saying to Europe, look, it's either the U.S. or us. Decide, or we are going to increase our stockpile of uranium to levels that, sorry, violate the terms of the treaty within 10 days because apparently the United States decided they didn't want the treaty. So this is Iran's.
So what you got is, let's get it, you know. Start off with Matthew 24:6, and it says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Yeah, because they're still going into this tit for tat phase right now. But it's definitely, the lines are drawn, okay? It's coming down to the wire of who's going to be the first one to cross it. And it looks like it's pitted between Gog and Magog, which is Iran and Russia, okay? Let me get that in Obadiah, because this is what they talking about right now, you know, on the video, as you can see. Let me bring back up that. Oh, I can't do it like that. Slocky brothers. Bring back up that video.
Sorry, violate the terms of the treaty within 10 days because apparently the United States decided they didn't want the treaty. So this is Iran's position, okay? The Iran position seems to be strengthened by China's warning to the United States not to open, quote, this is what their diplomat said this morning, Pandora's box in the region. And by Russia's push back on the U.S. and by Turkey and India's decision to buy Russian weapon systems over the ones produced by the United States. Okay, that's the scenario. Joining us now, former Naval Intel Officer John Jordan and former U.S. diplomat Jim Jatras. Jim, I'm going to begin with you. I guess the question it behooves us to ask, do the Iranians have a point in this argument?
I think they do. To start with, one of the reasons they may be exceeding these limits is because of the U.S. sanctions themselves that make it impossible for them to export enriched uranium to stay under the limits, so it's going to build up and exceed those limits. And I think that, frankly, is part of the plan by people in Washington so that we can accuse them of violating the agreement. Now, whether that's going to scare the Europeans into actually getting a move on with maintaining economic ties with Iran, I think that's a real roll of the dice for the Iranians, because we know what, I'm trying to think of a nice word for cowards, the Europeans are when it comes to standing up to the United States.
Do you think, John, that the Iranians might have a point in the argument that they seem to be making this morning?
Absolutely not. This is nothing more than blackmail. The U.S. withdrew from the Iran nuclear deal, and it was not a treaty. It was not ratified by the United States Senate. Our Constitution has been around for all to see for over 200 years. The President Obama.
So this is somebody that's for American bullying somebody, all right? And the other guy, he's just he's a talking head that doesn't look at the situation the same way, all right? But it's one important thing that he says, and I'm going to bring out a scripture on that after when I read Obadiah, but I'm going to let him talk.
Couldn't even get most of the Democrats on Capitol Hill to support the Iran nuclear deal because it didn't deal with their missile programs or their exporting of terrorism, and it guaranteed them a nuclear weapon in 2025. Now, with regard to the Europeans, the European governments may be saying one thing, but European businesses have pulled out completely out of Iran. Total, the large French energy conglomerate, for example, pulled out of a $4.5 billion exploration project. So European companies really want nothing to do with Iran, regardless of what's coming out of Berlin, Brussels, or Paris.
Well, but to Jim's point then, if we do that and we're muscling companies all over the world to try and screw Iran over as much as they possibly can, aren't we putting, you know, the old story we used to be told as kids, if you back somebody into the corner, they have no place to go but forward? Are we doing that to Iran?
No, Iran is no viable military options. They do not have the ability to close the Straits of Hormuz. In fact, Iranian strategy has been carefully calibrated with these limpet mines and then shooting at those drones and then their activities in Yemen, not to harm third neutral shipping or Americans directly. And what they're banking on is an American response, which may be which be a lot more violent, potentially bloody, which would change the political dynamic and cause international pressure to perhaps force the United States to give them sanctions relief. It's not going to work.
So, and you hear it. You're hearing the lies, man. The lies just keep on coming. They keep on coming and coming. Now they're trying to pit it all on Iran. And we know the difference because the scriptures tell us the difference. Okay? And devils, man. These devils they won't stop lying, man. I'm going to bring out the scriptures, brother. I'm just trying to get to what this guy says.
That's the Iranian strategy, to try to provoke the United States. The longer the United States sits pat, time is against the Iranians because of how fast their economy is unraveling.
Now, he's buying into the Pompeo story, but apparently the captain of the ship disagrees with Pompeo's story. In fact, some people would argue that the United States is maybe fabricating some of its accusations against Iran. Where do you stand on this, Jim?
I'm highly skeptical, to say the least. I mean, given the lies we've been caught with in the past, obviously WMDs in Iraq, everybody forgets the lies about the Balkans that got us into the war in Kosovo. I just don't trust these people. Maybe I should have more faith in our leaders, but I don't. Now, look, John is right. We have a right to pull out of this agreement. Doesn't mean it's a smart thing to do.
Now, what about the question remember when George Bush formed the Coalition of the Willing? He got countries all over the world to back us when we were going to make our move against Iraq. Forget the fact that Iraq was a debacle, but at least we could knock on doors around the world and people would support us. Given what's gone on in the last, let's say, couple of months, are we creating a situation where we are less apt to be able to get willing partners to join any U.S. effort? I'm going to start with you, Jim.
Let's be clear. Other than the British, that's largely a fig leaf. Even during the Iraq War, remember, the French and the Germans wouldn't go along with it. Remember French surrender monkeys, freedom fries, and all that stuff? So even then, people even talking about a Paris, Berlin, Moscow axis that was opposed to the United States policy. I don't think all those countries really help us on these things. And quite the contrary, I call them enablers.
But less now.
I think even less now, and I'm glad less, because the more these countries would line up, the more it encourages people here to do something very dumb and destructive, because they said, look, we have a coalition behind us, even though it's really just us with some window dressing.
Like a fake coalition is what
Of course it's fake.
John, last word to you.
There you go. And that's the point that I wanted to bring out. He said, of course it's fake. See, the world is not buying into it anymore. America's done. All right, let me bring out these scriptures and then bring it to a close. All right, it says let me see. I'll start from 1. It says the vision of Obadiah, thus said the Lord power concerning Edom. We have heard rumors from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye and let us rise up against her in battle. Okay, and that's what all these nations are starting to do, man. They're starting to rise up and get ready for this third world war, mainly against Satan himself, which is Babylon the Great, man. Okay, no nation is going to stand by her. It says, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. And you can see it swelling up, man. Okay, all these nations are starting to point the finger and said America is the liar, man. Okay, just like in I'm gonna get it in a minute, where it says that they shall hate the whore. Okay, the pride of that heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that said in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? And every nation's about to bring this place down to the ground. And when I say this place, I'm talking about America, aka Babylon the Great, Sodom and Gomorrah, and Egypt, all rolled into one. Okay, though they thought themselves as the eagle, and though thou see thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, said the Lord. Salaki. If these came to thee, if roused by night hard thou cut off, would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would thou not leave some grapes? Okay. That's let me skip down to 7. It says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is no understanding in him. And he's talking about the so-called Edomite. He doesn't understand what's going on, which is the whole Trump administration and these peon Edomites. They don't understand what's going on, man. Okay? Just like I showed at the beginning. Talks with China, talks with all these nations. And this devil is deceived to think that he got them underneath some type of sanctions that's going to slow them down, man. Not anymore. Okay? Yeah, they're going to take your money. They're going to take the payoff stuff. Look at Saudi Arabia, for example. You think Saudi Arabia has not forgotten what America has did over there time and time again and tried to pillage their oil and went into Iraq without no plausible reason. Okay? That's the Arab world, man. Okay? And everybody's for their people. Everybody's racist, okay? That's the way the Lord intended it. That's why he gave you your own section to be in. Okay? Segregation. The Lord is with segregation. All right? But yeah, I just wanted to bring that out. Let me get this too, because all these nations are gearing up, man. They mad, man. They're gonna shoot missiles on this place. This is Jeremiah 51:7. It says, Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Okay? And that's what you're starting to see, man. And it's starting with a lie. All these nations know that America's pushing the war with Iran. Okay, with false intel, false flag attacks, and rhetoric, man. Okay, propaganda. Everybody's on to it. Let me get Habakkuk 2:3 real quick. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. And that's what we about to see. The vision that was for appointed time. This third world's war, nuclear missiles being detonated, pestilence, plagues, earthquakes, all that's begun, man. The signs and wonders of the heavens, the chariots are back, full speed, you know, and live and direct, man. They're everywhere, man. Chances are you look up at night, man, chariots flying to and fro in the earth, man, now. Okay? No more secret flights at night for the angels of the Most High, man. They're right there in your face now. So this thing is wrapping it up, man. Okay, this kingdom is on the wrap up, so to speak. It's almost over. Get one more, and then that'll be that. Okay. This is Revelation 19:9. All right, and it says, and he says unto me, right, blessed are they which are called unto the marriage supper of the Lamb. And that's all the men that's out there on the highways and byways doing these video epistles, you know, teaching in truth and sincerity, okay, having faith. All right. It says, and he said unto me, these are the true sayings of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, and that's what we believe. That's how we're called on to the marriage, because of our belief. Okay. And he said, and I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of the brethren that have the testimony of Yahushua. Worship the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, for the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy. And that's what we are, man. We're forecasters of the prophecy, man. We're pushing this word out to and fro on the face of the earth, man. Okay? So it can reach the four winds, meaning the four corners of the earth. Okay? Because the scriptures say, you know, the prophets shall come last, man. And when they come last, then the end shall come. Roughly paraphrasing. Okay? The scriptures. All right? So, you know, I made it long enough, but I didn't really want to make it this long, but that's the spirit, man, you know. So with that, I want to say, Ka'Allah, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakah Kadash, and Abad Babal, Shalom.